Hi guys, it's Rich coming back at you again. I am working on a 2009 Honda Accord and we are doing a VVT actuator. So, changing the VVT actuator. The Napa number that I'm going to try is about a 1/16 of an inch shorter. I'm not sure that I'm going to be okay with that, but it's a VVS 1776. This is the Eklund line. This is their line. The Dorman number is like 916018 or something like that. Anyway, the tools that you're going to need to do this job. I used a 1/2 inch deep socket, a 1/2 inch 9/16. Oh no, 3/8 drive 1/2 inch socket deep, 3/8 drive 9/16 socket deep, a 9/16 wrench, a 3/8 drive ratchet, a 1/4 inch drive ratchet, a little extension for the 1/4 inch drive ratchet, and I also used a 10 millimeter. Trying to figure out. Oh yeah, here, 10 millimeter 1/4 inch drive shallow socket. And this is basically all your parts right here. You get these two long bolts to hold the power steering pump on. You get this bolt that holds the VVT actuator in the hole. These two bolts hold the screen, the pre-screen for the VVT actuator. This is the second bolt or nut. I had to replace it because I dropped it. I couldn't find it. But it's this is the bolt. This is the nut for the actual belt tensioner pulley. And here is the bolt, the through bolt for the belt tensioner pulley. Now let's talk about. And I had a flat blade screwdriver. Let's talk about some things here. I am a journeyman mechanic. I try to make things as simple as possible. I work on diesel engines, not cars. People that work on cars simply make things too complicated sometimes. These two ears, here and here, bolt up here and here. Pull those two 9/16 bolts out, lay the pump up here out of the way. Then there's a through bolt that goes through the belt tensioner pulley. This one right here. Goes right through. Pull that out. Pull that little nut out on the side. Slide this out of the hole, pull it up through the top. But of course you're going to pull the belt off first before anything. Pull the belt off, pull the pump bolts out, lay it out of the way, pull the belt tensioner pulley out of the way. Down here you'll see two 10 millimeter. Let me see if I can get a closer look. Right back in here, there's two 10 millimeter bolts. This is where oil comes into the pre-screen. You're going to take that pre-screen off and very lightly, see if I can find that pre-screen real quick. Oh, I got it here. I set that stupid thing. Oh, here it is. You're going to take this pre-screen off of there. You're going to blow it out. Clean the hole out right here. Make sure you take some oil and re-lubricate this. A lot of times these will dry rot, but this one's in really good shape and it's not dry rot. Clean this screen out right here. You can put that back on at that point. Now back in here, inside this hole, right back there, so that's where the VVT actuator goes. You're going to pull one bolt out. It's this bolt right here with the shoulder on it, the weird looking bolt. And then come in the front of the vehicle, take your left hand. Don't try to use your right because you're going to look like a damn clown doing it. Stick your right hand back in there and push the tab for this little connector right here. You'll hear it click. And just gently take your fingers and wiggle that thing back and push it off. Sometimes you'll have to grab a pair of pliers and push it off. Then pull the bolt with the collar out. Take your finger. This is the VVT actuator. Take your finger while it's in the hole. Pull back on the actuator collar and use your other hand to take that flat blade screwdriver and stick right here. Let's see if I can get my finger in a picture. You see this little mark that I made? That's where I took the screwdriver and I put right in there, and I used it as leverage, and I pulled back at the same time, popped the thing right out of the hole. Now, when you get this new one, this is the new one. You'll see it looks a little bit different. Sorry about the jittery bouncing around. I'm trying to make this video as short as I possibly can so you guys don't have to sit here forever. Here's the new one. Let's compare it to the old one. It's just manufactured different. I mean, it's got the same amount of filters, same amount of holes, slots, but it's just slightly shorter, very, very little. What I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to dip this down in oil and get oil all over in it. I'm going to make sure this O-ring right here on this corner, see if I can get it better. I'm going to make sure this O-ring right here is really lubricated and stick this back in the hole. People, you can shoot a little bit of brake clean down on the surface, but do it on an angle this way, not going in. I've seen a couple guys doing videos on this, or pretty bad videos. Don't shoot brake clean down in that hole. You're going to dilute that, it's going to get down in the oil, it's going to break the oil down. Do not do that. Same thing over here. Don't shoot oil inside that hole. Just clean around the surface as much as you can and leave it alone. Don't be shooting stuff all down in there. That's stupid, and I don't know why people do that. Take this, when you go to put this back in there, kind of wiggle it, kick it sideways a little bit, back and forth, and it'll pop in the hole. You almost hear the O-ring. Sometimes it'll make a little clicking sound, sometimes it'll just go in and won't go no further, and snug it down. That's simple. Plug your connector back in, put your pre-screen on with your bolts down there, put the belt tensioner on, put the pump back on, and put your belt back on. Start the vehicle. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for supporting me. And if you'd like for me to explain anything else on any particular vehicle, let me know. Alright, thanks again.